Hey, what's up, y'all? And welcome to another episode. This is the second episode of the Water Bearer podcast. So, thank you for joining and tuning in and share it with your friends, your cousins, family, enemies, everybody. Just share with everybody. So, I am really glad to be back here for this second episode of this season. So, for those who don't know, this season is going to be all about the wild card, is what the uh, theme is, I guess you could say, of it is the wild card. So we're not giving away the zodiac sign of the person. So if you know my guest Bilal, if you know his zodiac sign, don't give it away just yet because we're going to say that towards the end of the show. So as always, sharing is caring, but subscribing is thriving. So if you have not done so, go ahead and please subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to the and hit the notification bell rather, so that you don't miss anytime content drops on the channel. So this season is going to last a little bit longer than normal. So we're going to go all the way to April 2nd. For this particular season. So we're just getting started. And so we have quite a few more episodes to go. And so today's episode, I am speaking with Bilal Alan, and he is a professional photographer. As a matter of fact, the photos that I used for season 10, or well, 9 actually, and now season 10 that I'm currently on, those photos were taken by him. So he did those photos for me. So I'm really, really grateful. I love the way they came out. If you're not already doing so, please follow him on Instagram at iambilalalan, and I'll spell that out for you. iambilalalan. I was tongue twisted there for a second. I was like, wait, let me not mess it up. All right. And then also you can follow him on Instagram at Bilal Alan Style at BILALALAN and then STYLE, and that's all together. If you're not already doing so, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well. You can follow me there at Poetic, and that's PEAUXETIC. And then on TikTok, it's going to be the same for that as well, and that's going to be PEAUXETIC. Only difference there is the number 7 is what you'll add to find me there on TikTok. So I've known Bilal now for about maybe 10 years. Well, yeah, I'd say maybe about 10 years or so at this point, somewhere around there. He can correct me if I'm wrong when I bring him on. But he's a professional photographer. So we're going to get into this conversation here about how he got started with photography. And then, of course, I like to play little games too. So we'll do that before we get into the big reveal for his birthday. So without further ado, I'm going to bring out Bilal to join us. Hey, what's up, Bilal?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm good. How about you?
Man, I'm just here, just hanging out.
Hey. Well, I'm honored to have you hanging out with me.
Well, thanks for having me as a guest on this season.
Of course. You're welcome. Yeah. And so I guess we get right into it. I mean, I know you're a professional photographer, but one thing that I don't think we've ever discussed is, how did you get into photography?
Oh, wow. It's a long story. Well, I actually kind of got into following my dad. As a kid, you always want to do what your parents do sometimes. So my
Okay.
dad did a little photography. And then I guess when I got into junior high school, I joined the photography club. So I did a little bit there. And then when I got to high school, I kind of worked on the yearbook staff a little bit. And then just kind of playing around with it. And then, I kind of shut it down and didn't do it for a while. And then because I really kind of felt bad that my sisters got a chance to do more with my mother. And so I was like feeling left out. So I put photography to the side and started doing some of the
Okay.
things that my mother did. So that's how I got into photography. And then I guess about 2016, 2017, I kind of picked it back up.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. So how long? So that sounds like that's a decent sized gap. That
It is a decent sized gap. I thought about that a while back.
wow.
It's just putting the years together. I've never even really thought about it.
Wow.
You
And
know,
so when you and I'm always curious about this with photographers, when you put it down for that period, did you or do you, I should say, walk around and do you see everything in pictures or in photographs? Like even as you're going about your normal day, do you view things in a way where it's like, ooh, that could be a cool photo or that could be a cool setup or something like that?
yes, I'll say yes and no. And I kind of got back into it with photographing the homeless. Um,
Oh
'Cause
wow. Okay.
I go to church downtown at St. Paul United Methodist, and we have been feeding the homeless for a little bit over 30 years. And so sometimes when I would go down on Saturdays to help feed them, I would take my camera and just capture some of the ones that would let you capture them. And I guess the most interesting one, it was snowing one year, and we did it as it doesn't matter if it's rain, sleet, or snow. We're going to keep on feeding the homeless. And that was one of the pictures that the church used for a while. And so that's what kind of got me back into doing photography a little bit more.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so did you know that the church was going to end up using it or it just kind of worked out that way?
Uh, the lady that got pulled me into working with the homeless, she let me know that. Yeah. So I did know that. So it was not a problem, because like I say, it was just something. I was just doing something to be doing it. So yes.
Right. Okay. Okay. Wow, that's cool. That's good. That's really interesting. And so I got to ask you this too. And I'm already, this is, I feel like I'm getting all of the questions because I know a lot of photographers. And so there's a lot of questions I have in my head that I feel like I get to ask now that I just want to pick photographers' brains on. So, so there are some photographers, and I think we kind of lightly touched on this during my shoot, but I know there are some who they'll tell you, hey, I want you to wear these colors, or hey, I want you to stay away from patterns, or I want you to wear patterns, depending on where you're taking the photo shoot. So, are you the type of photographer that you feel like you'd rather have guidance in what the person wears, or do you just feel like, hey, you just show up however you are?
I like to say I'm a part of those that have guidance. I like certain things because if anybody knows me or have seen me and the way I dress, I love mixing my patterns. I mix colors. Like today, I have on all black and I have this green jacket on, and my socks are green, yellow, and orange and brown. You know,
Oh,
so
okay.
uh, so I like a variety of color mixing patterns and
Okay.
things like that. So I do like to have a part in saying, "Hey, let's do this." And also, I have a couple of items. I used to work for Men's Warehouse part time, so I bought a lot of stuff on the clearance rack so I can learn how to style people, and that's something I would like to get into a little bit more, is styling.
Solid. Okay. Yeah, I feel like when you told me that, it made a lot of sense because I do know that you have a really cool and unique style of dress for yourself. And then I also feel like with photography, I feel like there's something where style and photography goes hand in hand.
Yes, it does.
Awesome. Awesome. That's cool. That's cool. And so um with that, and you don't have to say names or anything. But what is a good client experience like for you? And then what is one that's not so good, or maybe a bad client experience? What does that mean to you as a photographer?
I say a good client is one that listens to
Okay.
what you tell them to do. And a bad client is one that doesn't listen to you and feel that they can do what they want to do and bring it to the shoot. I
Mm.
can say I can say probably about a few years ago, I had a photo shoot, and the person that I was photographing brought things that were not appropriate for their body position, their body style, and things like that. And so it didn't go well. And so for me, I did not want to stay there and photograph that. And so I packed up and walked off and ended the shoot because I told you what to do and what we needed to do. You insisted on doing something totally different, and I was really just getting into doing a little bit more photography, and so it didn't work out well. So I just abruptly stopped and say, "Hey, I don't want to shoot this." And
Wow. Hey, you know what? I didn't expect that answer, but I respect it because if this is my thing, if I'm coming to you as a professional, or you're the professional, and I'm using your services, then I'm gonna defer to your better judgment. Now, it would have to be something I feel really, really strongly about to even feel like I'm butting heads or anything like that. Because I know, like during our shoot, there were a couple of poses, and you probably picked up on this, and every photographer that's worked with me has picked up on this. So I'm really shy. So I kind of have to be guided into the poses a little bit because it doesn't always feel natural to me. Um,
okay,
it feels natural, like in my head, like, okay, coming up with the concept, like, okay, I want to do this, or I want it to look a certain way, or be outside or indoors, whatever. That part I don't have a problem coming up with, but the actual being there, taking the pictures, and it's like, oh, okay, this is real. But you gave a suggestion for the pictures that we took when I had on the orange jersey. I don't know.
I remember the orange jersey, but I don't remember what you did as far as a shoot with the orange jersey.
Yeah, so it was so for those who have seen the pictures, and I'll probably post some of them, during this after the episode or whatever, so people remember.
Okay.
But it was a replica of one of my favorite movies, The Water Boy, of the Bobby Boucher jersey. And so I was kind of trying to get people to see the 9 because it was season 9, and I was like, oh, maybe people see Boucher and they like, oh, Bobby Boucher, like they remember. But whatever it was that I wanted to kind of do with my hands, or to kind of attract, I think it was something like this that I wanted people to, see the back of it. You did take the shot, but then you showed it to me, and I was like, oh, okay. So that was all I needed to see. Like I didn't, and really, I would have been okay with not even taking the shot because I would have trusted your judgment.
And then that's another good thing. Sometimes you may have an idea that you like, and like I said, I'll shoot it, but
Mhm.
then I also want you to see it. If it is not right, then I don't want you to put something out there that's not going to look good, that's not going to be flattering to you, or like, oh, as a photographer, why did he take that? Why did he let him post that? So
Right.
sometimes you have to let the person see what they're doing. And I'm not going to ever discredit you and say, oh, you can't do that. I'll say, hey, go for it. But at the end, after we take the picture, I want to show it to you and let you see it, you know. And that's the same that I did with the young lady that I had a photo shoot with years ago, and letting her see how she looked. And she thought it looked great, and I didn't. And I'm just like, okay, well, I don't want
Did
this to
you
go
tell her?
out there. I told her that. And she got mad at me, and talking about, if you badmouth me, I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, honey, I'm not going to badmouth you. I'm just not going to post any of these. I'm cutting this shoot off short.
Damn.
So I think you would rather have somebody to be honest with you than to say, hey, oh yeah, you can wear that, because even when it comes to clothes, there's certain things that our bodies shouldn't be wearing, you know. So I've gained some weight a little bit. This is a fine example for myself. So one morning I got up, I had some skinny jeans that I thought I was gonna be able to wear. I put them jeans on. I said, "Oh, that's going into the sewing scrap pile there, because I
Scrap.
will not be put those on anymore." So if they can't be a loose fit or something, I will not be wearing them anymore. So I got about 5 pair of skinny jeans that I already cut up to sew something out of. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'm right there with you. 'Cause there's things too that I've bought before. Maybe like you see, and that's why sometimes I don't like buying clothes online because it has one look and it might be my size, but then when I get it, I'm like, I can't even button this thing up good. Like it just so I end up like to your point, I end up not wearing it. And I totally agree with you. I think that people should know what complements their body.
yeah,
They should know
true.
that. So in the situation where you had where you walked off the shoot, so how did the money situation work out? Like did she get a refund or did she even ask for a refund or how does that work?
No, she did not get a refund
She
because no, because you wasted my time. I did this after work. I could have gone home and done something else. And
right,
like, I did give her the pictures that I took,
right.
and I gave her those, but she never posted them either. So but I wasn't gonna give you your money back. No.
Right.
So,
And the
so
fact that she didn't post them to me lets me know that she probably didn't think that they looked the most flattering after she saw them. Because if my thing is, if I'm dead set on, hey, I look good in these photos, even if you disagree as the photographer and you send them to me, I'm gonna post them. But
I would have done the same thing.
yeah,
This is me. I
yeah,
look good in this, and like I say, some things once you get it and you see it, you'll be like, oh, I don't like that. And I've had pictures taken of me that I thought looked good, and then once I see them, I don't like them, so I won't post them. No, so
uh, that makes sense.
yeah.
Huh. Okay. Okay, wow, that's really interesting. Okay, so along those lines, this is one of the segments that I have for you, and
Okay.
so let's see here. So this is called pick a card. So imagine we have 4 cards. I know we don't have a deck of cards sitting in front of us, but 4 different cards. Now, depending on the card you pick, I'm going to give you a hypothetical scenario, and then you'll tell me how you would address it or how you would answer it.
Okay.
So the 4 cards are King of Diamonds, King of Hearts, King of Spades, and King of Clubs.
Okay. So I need to pick one of those.
Right. You can either anyone you want to pick.
I'm gonna say the King of Hearts.
Okay. Okay. King of Hearts. King of Hearts. All right. So, what do you do when you get a client who, in the beginning, they seem like they're easy. They follow all the instructions, like you mentioned. They wear the right thing to the shoot. But when it comes to the edits on the back end, they keep saying, "Oh, well, I want you to tweak this or tweak that or edit this or to your point, maybe they wore something that wasn't quite too flattering, and then now they want you to, you know, draw in their waist a little bit or something like that." So how do you they want you to do some magic. So how do you respond to a scenario like that?
Well, first of all, they shouldn't even come to me because I let you know up front that I don't do a lot of heavy editing. I cannot make you look like you're size 10. So what the camera get is what it's going to get. I will, when it comes to editing, now, if you have a pimple that I know that's not where it needs to be, I will edit that, but don't ask me to make you look smaller or anything like that, because I'm going to tell you flat out, no, I'm not going to do it. You know,
Yeah.
now, uh, there's just no way you can do it, because there's no need of us trying to put on extra filters or whatever, because your friends already know what you look like. I know what you look like.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
look like. So if you wanted me to make your hips move in, that's going to be impossible, because they can't do that.
Yeah.
But like I say, when it comes to editing, I'm only going to be very light. I'm not going to do a real glossy polish on you, because I want my pictures to stay natural, just like they do. I want it to look like you, because think about when you put those pictures online. Even if you was to put something on a dating app, you done put all these filters on there, but then when I get to see you in person, then I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah.
you
Is
don't look
this
the same
you?
in that picture. So any picture you see of me, there's no filters on it. This is me. You're gonna get the genuine Bilal.
Right.
So no, I'm not gonna do it. So that would be the answer for that. So no.
That's a no. I think that's the way to go because, like you said, I've seen this with people before, and maybe not even professional pictures, but now even with all these filters just within apps that you can do before you post a picture, and
Yeah.
you see people online and their skin just looks like just
Flawless.
yeah, like glass. It's just, and then
Man.
you see them in person, and it's like same facial features, but then their face look like Nestle Crunch. So,
Or
how does
chocolate chips. You got all that.
like how does this work?
Yeah, no, I don't, I
Somebody,
don't, I don't do a lot of heavy editing and things like that. I will pop the color a little bit, and like I said, if there's any blemishes that there's normally not there, like say schedule, we had a full photo shoot schedule, and your
right?
face broke out. I know that's not you. I will clean that up and things like that. But otherwise, I'm not gonna go in there and do any extra or anything like that to make you look like you're size 10, or it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah, and I appreciate the kind of the raw look of it that you do, where basically you capture the moment and that, that's pretty much it. Like you don't do a lot of muddying the waters with all of these filters and cleaning it up. I know the thing I was really worried about once I got there is because I'm a sweater and it was hot that day, and
It
I was
was a
like,
little hot.
I had that towel, and I was like, okay, let me try.
Yeah.
So I said, well, hey,
And
I
like,
might.
and even with that, I'll take your towel, like, because you may be in a great position and I don't want you to move. So
Mhm.
I'll take your towel myself and come and do what I need to do. So sometimes that's why it's good to have an assistant with you, but sometimes we can't always have that. So
Right.
I'm willing to be the photographer, the assistant, the person behind the scenes to make that work for you.
Gotcha.
But you really didn't sweat that much. So I don't know
And
why you
maybe
thought
I
you.
guess because it's me, it felt like I did, but that's good that you didn't think so. I was like, dang, they're gonna be looking at me saying, dang, he look greasy.
No, you did not come out greasy looking.
But yes, yes. But yeah, it was definitely a fun time. Definitely a fun shoot
Yeah.
for sure. And
Yeah, definitely.
so
I enjoyed the shoot too. So I would definitely, there's like I said, I have a couple of ideas. Right now, I'm working on, we're going to be doing a gallery shoot. They really want to do it this year, but I would really like to wait till next year. So it would give me plenty of time to gather the people that I would like to shoot. And then, because I'm going to have to buy some of the items that people normally don't have. And so I've already have everything written up. I have the title of the gallery that I want to do and things
oh
like that. So uh, I would really like to take my time with it and not try to rush and have something done by July, because I don't think it would be done just that perfect. I want everything to be perfect and stuff like that. So yeah,
Right. That's awesome. Wow. Congratulations on that. That's really
thank
cool.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's cool. Okay. So this is another segment that I have. And so this one is called Two Truths and a Lie. So it doesn't work like the normal two truths and a lie that we know of, but it's basically saying, as a photographer, what are two truths that either you wish you had known when you started or things you've learned along the way that you think every photographer should know? And then what is one lie that people think about photographers that you want to debunk that myth?
Okay, my first truth that ideas are cheap. Execution is everything. Success comes from showing up, deciding, and following through. That's
Ooh,
my first truth.
ooh,
Uh, so I really thought about that because when I
word right
read
there.
that, I really need to think about that because there's so many different things that can be done and things like that. And so that's one of my truths that I would like to have done. hmm
Huh.
And then, and then my second truth, I wrote these down because I did not want to forget them. Growth requires discomfort. If you're not uncomfortable, sometimes you're not growing. And I had to really learn that even here on my regular job, sometimes you feel uncomfortable and my boss would give me things and I was like, I don't know if I feel comfortable doing that. But then he also he says it's going to require some learning and sometimes you're going to feel uncomfortable with doing something new that you've never done before. So, and that was one of the things I said, oh, I can incorporate that with my photography. Yeah.
Wow. I love that. I love that. That's really good. And
Yeah.
what's a lie that you wanna
My lie is that you have to have everything figured out before you start.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
And and so, some people think you're supposed to have everything, but as you start something new, you always have to realize everything is not going to be perfect. Like
Mm,
with you being an author, you write a lot. So, think about how many times you've written something on a piece of paper and you ball that piece of paper up and throw it in the trash. And then
yep.
you have to go back. So it is a learning process. And then we have mentors who teach us and things. And some of the things that our mentors teach us is not always going to be the way they see it or the way it happened for them. So we have to go off our own intuition the way we wanted to see it.
Mm, I love
So
that.
so like also I'm in the process of learning how to sew. So I take a sewing class every Saturday. And
Okay.
so you really think about, oh, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna be able to design these clothes, I'm gonna be able to do this. And once I started learning and taking this class, I realized, oh hell, it's not like that. It's not as easy as I thought it was gonna be.
Right, right.
So, but the teacher that I have, she's an awesome teacher. And I love her for that because she doesn't discourage me and to say you can't do this or you can't do this or you're not ready for that.
Mm,
Uh, when I first started out, I started out with two people and one person, oh, you're not ready for that. I've been doing this longer than you have. Okay, I understand that, but then
oh,
don't
man.
discourage me from that
Yeah.
because it then makes a person like doubt themselves. But then when I got with this lady, she was like, oh no, let's do this, let's do this. And so like my class a couple of weeks ago, I try to pack everything on Friday night before I go to bed so I can have it at the door on Saturday before I leave to go to my part-time job. So I
Right.
left my sewing machine at home. And so when I get to her house, I don't have a sewing machine. She
Oh,
says, don't worry, I'll pull one of mine out. She had extra. And I said, but my shirt that we're supposed to be working on is in that bag. Oh, don't worry about it. We're going to make a pair of pants. So she pulled a pattern out for a pair of pants and some fabric. And so we made a pair of pants. So we'll finish those this week. I've kind of done a little bit extra that she didn't tell me to do. So I've
mm,
already did the waist and everything. So yeah, It's all about learning and learning to be comfortable with the situations you have.
I love the fact that the second person that you said that you're working with, that she didn't treat you that way and try to act like, oh well, I've been doing this for that's one of my pet peeves. I don't like when people do that, because just because you've been doing something for a long time doesn't necessarily mean that you've mastered that craft. And it also doesn't mean that a new person starting can't master it quicker than you did.
Yeah. And even with photography, it's still a learning process. You have to learn. You learn something new every day. There's new things come out every day. It doesn't matter what we do, even on your regular job, whatever you're not doing as a hobby or a craft. There's always something new that we can learn each day, and then that we just have to learn to be patient and sit down and just follow what we need.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that. That's what's up. That's really cool. So before we get into the last segment, we can't end the show without me asking you when your birthday is.
Well, my birthday's in May, so that means I am a Taurus.
Oh, okay, okay. So you're a Taurus, and you okay. So okay, so let me ask you this then. Do you think being a Taurus has played any role in your creativity and how you show up as a photographer?
No.
Really? Okay, you don't.
Mm, no, I don't because I just don't. No, because as a Taurus, I've read a lot about Tauruses. We are now one thing about us. We are very punctual. We like to be on time. I can't speak for anybody else, but as me as a
Mhm.
Taurus, I am very punctual. I'm always on time. I don't like being late. I don't like tardiness. Uh, I am moody. I'm selfish. It really depends on who I'm being selfish to.
Right.
And my nieces and nephews will tell me, Uncle, you're just not right. You can help us with this. And I could. Sometimes you got to make them learn, hey, and like I hound them all the time, and that time I don't even really need the money back. And they'll want to borrow money. And they'll say, Uncle, can I borrow this? And I was like, you haven't paid back what you borrowed the last time.
Oh,
So I
well.
have to let them know, you want to keep borrowing, but I can't get my money back. You think it's okay, But I understand because I used to do the same thing with my mom too and my dad. So, but it's like now I see where they're coming from. So, but as a Taurus, I'm very giving too. I'll give you the shirt off my back. And
I feel
so,
like Tauruses are like that.
you know, but if you rub us in the wrong way, you're gonna know it. And things like that. So yeah, those are some of the things that I know about myself. I can be moody, I can be selfish, and won't give you anything. So it's like, hey, leave me alone. I'm not gonna do that. You know. So yeah, so those are some of the qualities that I realize about a Taurus.
Hmm. Okay. So do you think, so this is another one I hear about Tauruses all the time. Do you think Tauruses are stubborn?
Yes, we are very,
You say yes?
without a doubt,
Really?
we are very. Yes, we
Okay.
are stubborn. Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. I think the Taurus people I know, um, how I kind of like to think of them is they're very headstrong, and they're usually a group of people who aren't easily swayed. Like you have to come with some kind of a fact or even maybe a really good emotion that sways them to whatever it is you're trying to get them to believe. But I think, yeah, most Tauruses I know they're very headstrong and they're not easily led just in all these different random directions.
Oh no, you can't get me to go in just any kind of direction.
Right.
And like I say, you're gonna have to really give me some good facts to make me want to. Okay, I'll go with this. I'll do this.
Right.
And things like that. So no.
Ah, okay.
And growing up as a kid, my mother used to fuss at me all the time and say, your butt is just stubborn. You know what? I don't know what I'm going to do to you. I'm probably just going to throw you out the window. And I was like, okay, well, you brought me into this world. So, what else? So, and you taught me to be the person that I need to be. So that's what I go by, you
Mhm.
know. Mm-mm.
Right. Okay. Okay. I love that. I love that. But yeah, no, it's been interesting doing these couple of shows because some of the guests that I have lined up, I don't know their sign. But for the ones that I do know their sign, it's really hard for me not to say it before we get to that point or not ask questions that relate to to their sign or anything. But yeah, from what I know from Taurus is, really cool people. They you know what? Now this is, you may get a kick out of this one. Taurus is no good food. So like if I'm in a group setting and a Taurus, like let's say everybody picks a restaurant, um, I'm probably going to go with what the Taurus picks. And it's probably going to be on the luxurious side. I feel like Taurus is, y'all are kind of like a luxury type sign.
Mm,
Do you think so?
well, well, that's probably, it could be true, but I'm very basic. I like nice food, but I'm a big chicken eater.
Okay.
So any of my dishes can be chicken. I do like going to nice restaurants and things like that, but my biggest piece of meat that I'm going to eat would be chicken,
Okay.
fish, or turkey. Now, vegetables, you can give me all the vegetables and things like that. So I'm really easy when it comes to restaurants and things like that. So I'm not that picky. As long as there's something that I can eat and things like that, I'm good. I'm okay with that.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So, but
Nice.
I am a picky eater. Now, so it just depends on what it is. So I'm not
Hey,
gonna just eat anything. Yeah.
I'm not knocking that because I'm picky too. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Same way.
Yeah. So yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, all right. So yeah, so repping for the Taurus this evening. If you're just tuning in, we have revealed Bilal's zodiac sign, and it is Taurus. And so wow, I can't believe we're already at the last segment. So this one I play with everybody, regardless of the season, regardless of the theme. I do this with everybody that's on the show, and this game is called Dead in the Water. And so shout out to I think those are chicken legs. So shout out to user dash D8Y3V. They, for those who are listening and not able to see the visual, they put in 4 chicken legs.
I'll eat a chicken leg.
Right. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of meat, but if I do, I usually like the breast or the wing. But I eat a chicken leg every now and
See, I'll eat the whole chicken. I like the chicken, but if
then. You
if
say
like
any
okay,
part.
so you also got to think now. I'll eat the whole part, but you got to think about. I don't know what generation some of these other people were, but growing up back in the day, uh, we always got the legs or the thighs. Even if you had the pastor over to the house, the pastor always got the breast or whatever and things like that. And then, and I remember my mother, she used to love the wings. And I think she loved the breast. But then when I was like, oh, I want the breast one day. And she was like, why the hell do you feel like you need the breast or the wing now? Well, I want to try something different.
Right.
You always give us the legs and the thighs. So it's like, no. So, but you learn and then you just see what other people like. But I can eat the whole chicken, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So,
Yeah. And I kind of came up in that generation too. So like, I think I would get on my parents' nerves because when I would eat the chicken, like I didn't want the leg or the thigh or whatever. So whenever we got a pack, I would want to have a breast. But the good thing is if I eat one, I'm good. Like
And one is all you need. One
yeah,
is all you
it's a lot of
need.
meat on,
You know. But then if
one.
you give me a leg, hell, I'm gonna need more than one chicken leg.
Yeah.
And then if you think about it, the wing and the legs were not the biggest part of the chicken, the thigh and the breast. But so yeah, so now that you get but now when I really eat chicken, I eat more wings than I eat thighs or legs or the breast because the breast is so dry. So usually, if I go get some chicken, I go get wings. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, this must be somebody that knows me. They done said Carlos is just greedy. Wait, okay. You might be right, whoever you are. You may be onto something. But but I will say I used to tear up some chicken strips. Really, I like bone or boneless
The boneless.
chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, I would eat that. But I noticed now too, a lot of these restaurants are kind of going back to the old days where, like you said, where the pastor or somebody comes over and they're serving the thighs and the legs, because dishes that used to have chicken breasts now they have thighs.
Yeah. Hell, because thighs are cheaper.
Right. I can't blame them because everything is so expensive.
Legs and thighs are cheaper. Hell,
Yeah.
I remember Walmart one day. I was in there. I think they had a family pack of chicken wings. It was like $18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can't even get cheap ground meat no more.
No. They said, y'all making me hungry talking about all this chicken.
Well, tell them, let's meet up. Let's go to Henderson and get a 4-piece.
Right.
But hey, I will put it out there. Hattie B's off of Lemon. Every day from 3 to 7, they have happy hour dollar wings. And their wings are bigger than Wingstops.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's what I had for dinner last night.
I did not know that.
Well, I didn't eat it until I met up with one of my old coworkers. He said, "Can you drop me off at Hattie B's? They got a happy hour, and that's Monday to Sunday through Saturday, 7 days a week. You can get dollar wings from 3 to 7, and they have a variety of flavors."
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't eat a lot of meat because I think I told you the gout situation.
Yeah.
But on one of the days when I do, I might have to check that out.
Yeah, let me know. I'll meet you over there because from 3 to 7, and they got good grits. I tried their grits, I think about a couple of weeks ago, and I was kind of mad after I finished a little bowl of grits. I wanted another bowl. They charged $3 for a small little thing.
Oh, really?
And I was like so mad because I ran out of grits.
I love some grits. I love grits.
And these grits, you didn't have to put any season. If they were seasoned to perfection. So I definitely enjoyed them.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's what's up. They said not big wings though.
They're decent size.
Right.
They're not turkey wings.
Right. Not like those you get at the fair. Oh, that's too funny. All right. So this is the last part. So this is Dead in the Water. This is the game I play with everybody. So This is a this or that thing. So either you tell me, instead of telling me the one that you like the best, you would tell me the one that you would throw back in the water, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll start with this first one here. So when it comes to the atmosphere of a photo shoot, indoor or outdoor, which one would you get rid of?
The outdoor.
Okay. Oh, you get rid of the outdoor. Okay. All right. Get rid of the outdoor. All right. Between these two flavors, lemon or lime, which one are you throwing away?
The lime.
Throwing away the lime. Okay. All right. So this is a little bit of a style question. So
Okay.
ascot or vest, which one would you throw away?
The vest.
Okay, you would throw away the vest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so wait. Okay, so they playing too. They said indoor. So I guess they're throwing away the indoor. Let's see.
Well, it depends on the season and when you're doing this shoot. If you're gonna throw if it's definitely really hot outside, I'm gonna throw the outdoor away. And if it's really cold outside, then I'm gonna do the indoor. So I mean that could be
Okay. Yeah,
depending
it
on
could go either way.
either way. So it just really depends. So I get them. Yeah.
Okay. We'll give them that. I can see that. I can see that. And then between these two Frankie Beverly and May songs, Happy People or Southern Girl, which one are you throwing away?
Ooh.
Both are some heavy hitters.
I don't know how to answer that one because I like both.
And it's fine if you want to save both or keep both.
I think I would have to keep them both.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Keep
I
them
like
both.
both of those. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so this is the last one. So we kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier. When it
Okay.
comes to clothes, solids or patterns, which one would you throw away?
That's another hard one because it depends on what I'm putting together. Because I like mixing patterns on patterns, and then I love black on black. So I'm gonna have to keep them both.
Okay. You're keeping them both.
I'm gonna
Okay.
keep them both. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. All right. We are keeping them both. Hey, okay. Well, hey, Bilal, thank you so much for joining me. This has been a great podcast. I've really, really enjoyed this episode, and I've learned some new things about you and your photography journey. So that's really great. I'm glad I got a chance to know that. And so, what are some parting words? Anything you want to plug or talk about? I know we have your Instagram pages, but anything else you want to tell the viewers and the listeners?
Well, like I say, I'm really I love clothing. I love fashion. When I started out in junior college, I started taking fashion design. So I really would like to start getting into a little bit more styling, but I would really want to do more of my little styling on the thrift store side. Because I have a client on Monday that I'm going to meet up and do my first thrift store
Oh,
shopping with. So I would like to do a little bit more of that and just kind of get that out there. And I would say right now that the first three people that hit me up, we can get together and go do something free. And in the midst of that, I would also give you a photo shoot to go with whatever we chose from the thrift store.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is awesome. I love that, and I love the thrift store idea too. I think that is really really awesome. And so again, thank you again, Bilal, for joining. And I can't wait to for us to people to learn more about you, for them to see this episode, and then y'all make sure to tune in next Thursday as well, same time. We'll be back for the next episode.
Well, thank you for having me. I definitely appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome. Thanks, Bilal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all have a good one.
Peace out.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye.